going on, guys? If you've been following the last couple videos, we've been making this bomb, right? And so now we need to connect the bomb to the secret room. So we're going to do quite a few things in this video. We're going to make it so that instead of hitting the wall with an attack to blow up the secret room, you can hit it with a bomb, because that's the way that it's supposed to work. And then we're also going to make it so that like the bomb should have a timer attached to it. So this is flashing right now, but it will just flash forever. Also, the speed of the flashing should be connected to how long the timer has been running. Also, you can only have one bomb at once. So if you do drop it or you throw it, you can't take out another bomb until the first bomb is blown up. This shouldn't be the case. You should be able to throw as many bombs as you want. So we need to do that as well. So if you guys are enjoying the series so far, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And yeah. All right. So we're in the player script and we just need to add a list of bombs to the player, because instead of just having one bomb, if we look at the bomb script, right now we're instantiating a bomb when we press the bomb button, which is G. We configure that in the input manager in the other video. So if you don't have this, like this won't work unless you've been following this, because you have to set this up in the input manager for it to work, right? So if we click the fire button, which is the left mouse button, it finds the bomb clone in the hierarchy, right? But the reason this doesn't work is because if you spawn two bombs, then there'll be two objects named bomb clone, and it will just find the top one in the list, which is not going to be the one that, it's not going to be the right one, right? So we need to make it so that A, it finds the correct one, and B, we need to be able to like have multiple going at the same time. So anyway, so we want to create a list of bombs instead of the player. So we'll create a public static. It's going to be a linked list because we care about the order of them. We want to be throwing the last bomb, but we do need to have all of these in a list still. So what we're going to do is we could just call this bombs is a new linked list. I really like the linked list. The linked list is worse performance than the normal list, by the way. So if you're really caring about, there's only going to be a couple bombs in the list ever, so it probably won't matter. But if you care about performance, you could use like a normal list or an array or something else if you want to. But anyway, that doesn't matter to me. So when we're instantiating this bomb, what we need to do is we could do player.bombs.add last, and we will instantiate this as we're adding it. So while we're making this, we're going to add it to the list of bombs as the last element. And then when we do this, instead of setting go is equal to this, we can do player.bombs.last.value. So when he goes to throw the bomb, it's going to be the very last bomb in the list, right? So let's save this. So we also have this bomb explosion script going on, right? Instead of just destroying this, what we need to do is remove this bomb from the linked list, right? So we need to look up the linked list bomb and delete it, right? Okay, so we need to remove the bomb from the list. Oh, I think we could just use where it's removing the one that's in the list. We don't actually need to do this link query. We just need to type in game object here. So when the bomb blows up, then we're going to remove it from the list. Okay, and so you can see it still works the same way that it did before. Now we haven't changed the timer, so there's like a 1 second delay before you can spawn a bomb again. So like after he throws it, there's an entire second delay. There should still be a delay, but it should be like less time than this. So let's pause out of the game for a sec, and we'll go back into the bomb script. Oh, maybe it's like the speed of it. Oh no, end bomb happens when it blows up. So end bomb needs to happen sooner. So instead of having end bomb happen when it blows up, this actually needs to happen before then. So let's get out of this. So when he's done the animation, that's when end bomb should happen. So when he plays this, like when he actually throws the bomb, that's when end bomb should really be happening. So let's do end bomb here, but there should be like a delay still, like even though like right after you throw it, you should be able to take another bomb out, but there should be like a delay. Invoke name of bomb delay, and we can just make the delay like 0.1. Like it doesn't have to be very long, but it just needs to be like a short period of time. And then inside of this, oh sorry, we don't actually have to call bomb delay. We could just call end bomb in the invoke. Here we go, end bomb. So this should allow you to throw another bomb like 0.1 second after this. Failed to call static function because an object was provided. Oh, because it doesn't need to be static, it's in the same method. So we can just call it, you can't call static methods like this. So, okay, so now we can throw as many bombs as we want, and like it will even cancel the animation, just start it over as well. So you can like, yeah, so now we need to handle if you press the bomb button again and you're already holding a bomb. So if you're not idling and you're already holding a bomb, we need to drop the bomb that you're holding. So we just need to do this. If your format gets messed up in your code, if you press Control KF, it will automatically fix your formatting for you. And then I've also set it up in my settings in Visual Studio. If I press Control E and then D, it just removes all the extra blank spaces. You can set these settings up in, I think it's like Window or Options and then Keyboard. Yeah, so inside of the keyboard, these are like the key defaults or whatever. And then delete. Yeah, so it's called edit, delete blank lines. I set this up. This isn't by default, but that's really, really helpful. If you're trying to clear, I'm going to do this a lot throughout this series. So if you're trying to clear out all of the blank lines in your Visual Studio that you're not using, this will just automatically, like if you just highlight a huge section and press ED, it just gets rid of all of like the blankness and you can cut away a bunch of extra crap in your code. But anyway, so when we press B, we want to drop the bomb that he's holding. So this is very similar to throwing the bomb, but instead, we're just going to drop it. So the player state can go back to idle immediately. He doesn't need to play an animation at all. The game object is the last bomb, so that's fine. We're not adding any velocity, but so if we press G again, we're turning the parent off and we're turning the constraints to none. So the gravity will make it fall downwards until it hits the ground. We could maybe just teleport it to the ground. Let's see how fast it falls to the ground otherwise. But this will have another problem as well. Like maybe it will blow up instantly. Yeah, so when you drop it, when it hits the ground, it blows up. Also, your character doesn't go back from the bomb overhead thing. So, because when he plays throw bomb, there is a connection from throw bomb back to idle, right? But there's no connection from holding bomb back to idle. So we're gonna have to call play idle, right? So we set the state to idle, but we actually need to use the animator to play the idle animation to get him out of like the thing that he's in, like having it held above his head. And then it looks like it blew up immediately, right? So we don't actually want it to blow up when it hits the ground. So we need to remove the bomb explosion script from it. So destroy go.get component and bomb explosion script. So we're destroying the script that's attached to the bomb. So if we're dropping the bomb, we don't want it to blow up when it hits something. So this is handling collisions, right? So when we drop the bomb, if we drop it and it handles the collision, it will blow up. So if we're dropping it with the G button, we want it to stay on the ground until it blows up over time, right? There should be a timer as well, but we'll just see if this works first and then we'll make the timer afterwards. So you press G, we drop the bomb, and what the fuck? Oh, because in this same token, he'll become holding the bomb. So there needs to be a delay from when you actually put the bomb above your head and then you're able to actually drop it. You can't drop it right away. So these should also probably be else if, but let's just during this, we need a timer before you can actually drop the bomb. Okay, so let's just call a Boolean function able to drop bomb is false. And we need a method, so public void wait for bomb drop, and then this becomes true. So then if we drop the bomb or we throw the bomb, then this will become back to false. Able to drop bomb gets false. And this one will also make it get false. Because if we throw it or we drop it, we should be able to drop it. We shouldn't be able to drop it anymore. So this, when we actually get the bomb, we need to invoke wait for bomb drop, name of wait for bomb drop. So we're just waiting 0.1 seconds until we're actually able to drop the bomb. This will prevent you from immediately dropping the bomb when you pick it up or whatever. And then in the if statement, we're not able to drop it right away. So able to drop bomb. So able to drop bomb has to be true. Otherwise we can't drop the bomb. So let's see if this works now. So you press G to take out a bomb. We're walking around. I changed my move speed, by the way. It's much faster now. So when we drop it, he doesn't really do any animation to indicate that he's dropping it. And I think it does fall to the ground, but it's not very fast falling. It should teleport to the ground right away. So where's the position? Negative 0.01 in the y-axis. So let's just set the position of the bomb right away to be at the ground. So when he drops it, we're just going to set o.transform.position, and it's going to be the position of the X and Z are going to be the same, but then the Y is just going to be 0. Okay, so you take out the bomb, you press G, and he just drops it. And it goes below him, so it actually looks normal, right? So then we have the problem that there should be a timer started right away when you pull out the bomb. This is pretty cool though. So you can like, I was thinking I was gonna have to make an animation, but I think this looks good enough with it like this. Okay, so now we wanna make a countdown for the bomb so it can explode, right? So what we need is an IEnumerator to do the countdown. So we'll make a public IEnumerator and we'll call it bomb countdown. And yeah, after you create it, we need to count down. So we need to do a timer in a number of seconds. So we need to pass in an integer. So int, actually make it a float, seconds. And then this has to return a yield something. I hope I have one of these set up already. Let me just see if I can find it. I never remember the... Okay, so inside the bomb countdown, we just need to do yield return new wait for seconds. And then we want to do seconds as the timer, but this isn't how it's going to work because we want every second that it counts down. We're probably going to display a number so that it actually like you can see the timer. We also want it to flash faster every second that it's going. So like, let's say it's 10 seconds. On the first second, it's just barely going to be flashing, but by the 10th second, it will be like hyper flashing. So you know it's going to blow up in your face, right? So what we want to do is for float I is equal to 0, I is less than seconds. Yeah, that's exactly, it auto-completed for us. So in every single iteration of this, we're going to wait for the for 1 second, right? So while we're doing this, we need to edit the shader for the bomb. Right? So in our bombs, let me go there, hang on. So in our bomb material, we have something called the flash speed, which is how fast it flashes. So let me drag this bomb into the scene so we can talk about it for a sec. Why can't I just drop this somewhere? Oh, it's a material, that's why. I just could have dropped a bomb in there. So you can see that the default speed is very, very slow, right? And if we take the bomb material and the wick material and we turn the flash speed up, like to 15 or something, right? You can see that it's flashing faster. So this speed should start at 1. So it's going really, really slow, right? And then it should speed up as it gets faster and faster. Yeah, so maybe it should start at 1. We're going to leave it like this for right now. Because when you take out the bomb, this is the fine speed for it to be going. And then we want to be able to edit this. So we need a reference to both of these materials, but we don't want to edit the actual material because if you edit the material in code, it will affect the material forever. Like it will change it forever. So what we want to do is we want to actually get the bomb that we're editing it and find the materials and then set the values. So material M1, which is going to be the first material, because there's 2 materials. There's the wick material and the bomb material, and they both have this flash speed variable in them, right? So material M1 is going to be, wait, we don't want these all to be the same. We need to pass in the bomb as a variable. So we'll just do game object bomb. Let's just put a bomb in there. So it's bomb.materials. Oh, sorry, bomb.getComponent mesh renderer.materials. And then we're just going to index it because there'll always be 2 of these. So material 1 is that, and then material 2 is going to be the same thing, except for it's going to be 1. These this is an array of materials. It's 0 based, so 0 is the first one and 1 is the second one, right? So then we're going to do m1 dot set float, and then the float name is flash speed, and we're going to set it to be I. And then we need to do the same thing for M2. Yeah, so then it will start as 1, right? As this counts up, it starts at 0, I guess. And it counts up until this variable. And as it's counting up, the speed of the flashing will get faster and faster until it blows up. Now, this should also be a fraction because if the seconds is only 3, then at the max seconds, it should be flashing the fastest as possible. So like, let's say it's only 3 seconds, maybe 10 is the flash speed for like the max flash speed. We want it to be 3 is 10, and then 2 would be like 6.666 repeating, etc. We're not going to do that right now because that's too confusing, but you do want to set that up because if you make the wick time shorter, you don't want the max flash speed to be less, I guess. I'm probably confusing everyone with this. Let's just run this and see what happens. Okay, so we pull out a bomb. We're just going to ignore the one that's over here, right? Oh, we haven't called this. Of course, it's not going to work. Okay, so inside of this one, right? Yeah, so we start holding the bomb here. So this is where we want to start coroutine, and then we're gonna just do 10 seconds for now, but in the future it could be, that might be way too long. And then we want to actually put this below this because we instantiate the bomb here. And then we just want to do player.bombs.last.value because we're adding this to the end of the list right here. So we want to make sure we're starting the countdown on the latest one. And then when this is done, we want to explode the bomb. So after this for loop, if we go into the bomb explosion script, we can just copy this script here and do this. So player.bomb explosion, position, it destroys after 3 seconds, player bomb remove, and then destroy the game object. Yeah, so you can just call the same explosion script when it's done the countdown. So after it's done, it will blow up. So this should work. Let's try it again. Okay, so we've got the bomb. It's barely flashing. It should really start black. Like it should start small and then go big. Okay, so we deleted the transform because this script is actually attached to my character. The bomb script is like, it's attached to the player. So we just destroyed the player instead of destroying the, so player.bombs remove game object. We don't want to remove the game object from bombs. We want to remove the bomb from bombs. And then we want to destroy it afterwards. So, and then I don't know if it made it to 10 seconds. Did I type 10? Bomb countdown 10. And we're setting the flash speed. Let's set this to 100, or let's just set it to 60 so that we can clearly see this happening. So in this example, it's not going to blow up, by the way, obviously. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let me just find the bomb on the character. Flash speed is not getting changed. All right, I just need to take my dog out and then we'll continue. Okay, so there's two main problems. So the first problem is that you actually have to put an underscore in the name of the variable. So if you're looking at the material, you can see that we've named it flash speed, but the actual name inside of the shader for it is automatically underscore and then the name. So if you click on the variable inside of the shader, you can see that the reference value is underscore flash speed. You have to reference the reference value, not the name. I don't know why it's like that. It should just be the name, but yeah, I didn't make it. So anyway, the other problem is that we're calling seconds here, but this should be I. So we should be setting the value every single frame to I, not seconds, because that would immediately put it to 60, and 60 is extremely fast. So let's play it again and see what happens. I'm just going to delete this bomb from the scene. We don't need that anymore. Okay, so now we have two other problems. So first of all, it's starting all the way big, so we don't want that. So let's go into the shader for a second. So to go into the shader inside of the bombs folder, there's this shader. You could just double click on it. If you've been following the video, you should have a shader exactly like this one. What we want to do is we want to do the output of sine into this, like not the color. The color is actually, let's do both. Let's just put it right here. So we're going to put a 1 minus node here and then put that into here. Yeah, just like that. Let's see if that works. Hang on. So let me just put the bomb back in the scene, see if it works still. So all this is doing is it's going to make it start as black and then go to red instead of just like, you know what? Let's actually get rid of these. So I added 2 1 minus nodes to try to get this to work. Let's just put it back the way it was and leave the 1 minus node out of it. Okay, and the only thing that we actually need to do is if we go to the bomb material and the wick material, instead of having it go between 1 and 1.7, we can have it go from 1.7 to 1. So by flipping this, that will mean that it, let me delete this bomb and put it back in. So you can see it starts black. Oh, but then at the top, it's still red. So then we want this to be from 1 to -1 in the remap for the color. So inside of the shader, again, just go to the remap, the bottom remap that has the color, and just change the input from 1 to -1, and then that should fix the color issue. Because we really want this to start black and then go to red afterwards. I can't even really tell if it did it. Okay, so let me just think about this for a sec. Hang on. So we're inputting the flash speed in the multiply. So that will move it up. So, but we want the time to be just increased in speed. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain this. It's a little bit confusing, so hopefully I don't lose anyone. So the minimum speed that we're going to go for is 1, right? And the maximum flash speed that we want is 10. So we've already put the bomb into the scene, right? And we've already set these material values to 1 and to 10. And 10 is like a pretty decent flash speed before it blows up, right? You can set this to whatever you want to. You don't have to use the same numbers as me, right? So this is our new method. So we're setting a minimum speed of 1 and we're setting a max speed of 10, which means even if this is 3 seconds or 5 seconds or an hour, at the end it will be going 10 in speed, and at the beginning it will be going 1 in speed, right? So we're taking between I, which is 0 to start with, right? And the number of seconds. So if there's 10 seconds, that means this is a number between 0 and 1000, right? And we're only counting up by 0.1 of a second. So each iteration of this loop is going to happen every 100th of a second. Okay, if that makes sense, hopefully you're still with me. We're going to set the flash speed to be lerp between the min speed and the max. And we kind of discussed lerp in the previous video. Lerp just takes these numbers, right? So this is the minimum and this is the maximum, and this is the distance in between them. So like, let's say this is 0.5, right? This is a number between 0 and 1, and it's a percentage, right? So if this is 0.5, then it would be halfway between 1 and 10. Yeah, so that's what lerp does. It takes, this is the minimum, this is the maximum, and this is a number between 0 and 1, which represents a percentage in between. So if this number is 500, because this is counting between 1 and 1000, this number will be 5, or this will be 0.5, which will make this halfway between these two values. That way you can change the minimum and the maximum speed, but you don't have to constrain it to the seconds, and it's automatically done for you. I hope this makes sense. This could be really confusing for some people, I think. And then after we're done this, we actually need to set our values back here. So we need to set our character back to being idling after we destroy the bomb, right? If we've picked up the bomb and he's holding it, if he drops it, it goes back to idle, but also, yeah, so if it blows up in his hand, then it will go back to idle as well. So we'll set the player state to idle, and we'll set the animation to idle. But then the other thing we need to do is, if we throw it or if we drop it, we need to stop this coroutine immediately, right? So actually, let's just call stop all coroutines, because we don't have any other coroutines right now. So this will stop everything. If his players.state is equal to holding bomb, then we'll do this. Because if we've already dropped it, he's not going to be holding the bomb anymore, so you don't have to do this, because that will interfere. Like if he drops a bomb and then he attacks, we don't want to set the state and make his animation happen again. So I hope this makes sense. This is probably not the greatest job explaining this, but it's kind of a complicated topic. So yeah, so if you press G and we double click on this bomb and we go into the material, you can see that the flash speed is going up. And because it's only going up by like a hundredth of a second, every 100th of a second is changing the float instead of just abruptly changing it from 1 to 2 to 3. It doesn't affect the shader in a negative way. We didn't re-enable the staff. We need to re-enable the staff. Hang on. So where is it? Player.staff, set active, true. Yeah, so you can see, so while we're holding this will start flashing faster and faster, right? And then eventually it will blow up on our head, and later it will obviously damage us when this happens. Oh, okay, so now we're instantly dropping it again. We also need to set our able to drop bomb back to false. That way we don't, because if we don't want to drop it right away, right? So yeah, so then we just try this one more time. Hang on. We can drop this on the ground and it should like eventually blow up. Okay, and the position of it blowing up is wrong. So we want to instantiate the explosion, but not at the transform position, at the game object position. So bomb.transform.position. Because this script is attached to the player, so you saw the explosion happen at the player. All right, so we got this bomb, we press G again, we drop it, we can throw another bomb at the wall, it blows up. We could have one above our head, and like, these are not attached in any way. And it looks like the one that we put above our head is flashing faster and faster, and the one that we dropped on the ground is not flashing faster and faster. Because we're calling stop all coroutines, so we can't do that. We need to only call stop on the one that's counting. So like stop all coroutines. So if we throw it, this stops all of the coroutines. We don't want to do that. We only want to stop the coroutines attached to. Okay, so what we need to do is stop coroutine and then bomb countdown and then 10 seconds. This would be the last object. So player.bombs.last.value. So we're only stopping that one because we don't want to stop the one that's already ticking on the ground. This should fix it. Let's see. There's a lot of trial and error when you're making a game like this. So, and if I don't do trial and error in the video, it's going to take me forever to like redo all the takes. So let's just see. So if we just have it like normal, it will blow up on us. And then the thing we did before is we dropped the bomb and then we threw a bomb. Yeah, and then it eventually blows up. This looks like it's starting. Okay, and here I changed it up a little bit. So I added this Boolean value for the bomb being dropped. And then inside of this loop, I've added a check to see if bomb is null. Because bomb will become null as soon as you throw the bomb and it destroys itself. When it blows up using the bomb explosion script, it will become null. And then we don't need to keep flashing because it's causing an error, right? So if you keep counting and this keeps trying, when it tries to set this material, if this has already been destroyed because the bomb explosion, then it's not going to work. So this will make it so that if this is iterating and you throw it and it blows up, then it will actually break out of the actual like IEnumerator. And then at the bottom here, if it makes it this far, then we need to put our character back to idle and we need to turn the staff back on as well. But that's only if it makes it this far. So now it should work. And I think we still have the ticking problem. Okay, so it goes faster and faster and faster. And then we throw it. And then before we were getting like an error at the bottom here. So this is good. Okay, so this is truly unfortunate because I had to completely change the shader. So at the beginning of the shader, let me just get rid of the graph inspector. I got rid of time and the multiplication and everything, and I put flash speed directly into these two remap nodes. I'm going to be posting the shader and this entire script to the video. So in the description of the video, there'll be a new copy of the script because I had to really mess with this to make it work. The reason we can't use time from this is because time is counting up. So like if you spawn a grenade and you've already been playing the game for like 5 minutes, then time is already at like 60 times 5 minutes. So like a lot, right? 360. So then it will be flashing really, really, really fast already. So what I've done is I've put flash speed directly into the remap, and then I changed the method to directly incorporate sine into the formula without using the shader. So I'm going to try to explain this. So time is starting at 0 for every single time. You don't have a way to reset the shader to 0. So when you have time in the shader, you can't reset that time to 0. You have to, like, it just continuously counts up from the start of the scene. So I'm setting a variable for time to 0 every single time we start this IEnumerator, right? And then incrementing the time by delta time, which is the time since the last frame. So let's say your game is running 60 frames per second, right? It gets the time since the last frame. So this is a better way to do this because this will also be the same if you're on a console or some other system that's not getting 240 FPS like my computer is, right? So then we're getting the angle, which is time multiplied by lerp. So this is our formula from before where we're using, this is the minimum speed of the flashing. This is the maximum speed. And then we have I divided by seconds divided by 100, right? But instead of it being the same way that it was before, we're using the delta time, which is like, because sine, like this value is just a number between -1 and 1, right? So then we're setting this value between -1 and 1, which will flash between the min size and the max size, which is, so with this remap takes it from -1 to 1 and converts it from 1 to 1.7. And in this portion of it, it takes it from 1 to -1 and it converts it from red to black. So as we change the numbers, it changes the things. So this fixes the problem where, like, if we've been playing for like an hour, our bomb won't start off flashing ultra fast. You can see that this one is slower than this one, right? So if you set two bombs side by side, first one should be flashing faster, right? So I hope I didn't lose everyone with this. Like I said, I'm going to be posting all the scripts and the shader to the video so you can overwrite your files with these new files that I'm making, because this is an extremely complicated topic and I don't know if anyone's going to be able to follow along with this. But yeah, so we're just manually using sine instead of using it inside of the shader. Okay, so now we're going to add a counter to the bomb. So it's going to be like a text-based counter counter that will count down from the number of seconds before it blows up so that you can actually like see like how long it's going to last. Now, this is something we'll probably want to be able to turn on and off with like a Boolean value later, and we want to be able to control the settings for the bomb, and we're going to put them in the player as well. I don't know if we're going to get to that in this video. This is already really long, and I don't think we're done yet, so there might be another bomb video on top of this one. But if you right click on your bomb, like drag a bomb into the scene with your prefab, right? And then we want to right click on it and click 3D Objects, Text Mesh Pro. Now this starts enormous because the bomb is 120 in size, so you need to multiply the bomb or the text by like 0.00000 something. So just change your scale to be locked and just do like 0.00001. Okay, so 0.01 seems to be the thing that seems to be working. Change the text to say 10, 180 in the x-axis. There we go. Okay, so 180 in the x-axis, and then we want to just go in the scene view and just move it directly above the bomb, so like it will line up with the bomb. And you can actually lock the perspective by just clicking these little buttons in the top right. Just make sure it's directly above it, and we can even like bring this towards the screen a little bit so it's like above it. I think that will look cooler. And then, yeah, I mean, that looks fine. So then we also want to have a custom font for this, okay? Upheaval is a font that's literally the font from the Binding of Isaac, right? You can just go on Google and type in Upheaval and you can download this font for free. If you drag the font into your game, it's an asset, right? You can drag the font into your game and then use it in the scene. So if you right click on this, you can press Create Text Mesh Pro Font Asset. And now we have an Upheaval font asset, right? So that if we go into the text, we can change this in the drop down, and now it's literally the same exact font from the Binding of Isaac. And then we just want to change this color to be maybe it will start yellow. Actually, it should start white, but it should be like a little bit brighter than that. So we just want to go into the face color and just turn up the intensity just a little bit so it's kind of bright. And then we're going to want to, as this number counts down and it gets closer, we're going to want to have the color change between white and then red or some type of like, oh my god, it's gonna blow up in your face material, right? Okay, so after you're done getting your bomb set up like however you want it, you just need to drag it from the scene back into your folder at the bottom so you can like overwrite the prefab. Mine, I've obviously changed all the settings. I've renamed this Text Mesh Pro to Timer, so you need to do the same thing. It needs to be named Timer because we're going to use code to find it, right? So I set the text to 10, and then I set the font size to 24, and then I set a glow on it. So I set the glow to red, and these are the settings that I used. I'm going to be uploading this all to the video, so like to the description of the video. So if you want to copy the exact one that I have, you can just download it from the description of the video. So in the bomb countdown, you're gonna need to copy what I've done here. So inside of this, like right here, inside of the bomb, which is the game object that we're spawning, we're finding the timer, which is the Text Mesh Pro that we added, and we're setting the font size to be 24 plus the sign value times 5. So the sign value is like a number between -1 and 1 that's going faster and faster based on this calculation that we've done. You don't have to understand this, by the way, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's going faster and faster, and this is going to be 24 plus this. I wouldn't do a multiply because that's too big of a range, but adding sign value by 5 means it will go like between -5 and +5. It's a big enough range where it makes a difference. In your Text Mesh Pro, make sure you set the alignment to be center. If you don't, when it resizes, it will resize like down and to the right, and it will like grow and move the whole text, like it will move it like this. So make sure that you set it to be centered or else it will really mess it up. This is taking the modulus of I. So I is a number that's counting up between 0 to the number of seconds times 100, right? So like, let's say it's 10 seconds, right? This number would be 1000. So by taking the modulus, every time that number is divisible by 100, we're going to be setting the text to be the seconds minus I divided by 100. So for example, if I was at 900, it would be 10 minus 900 divided by 100, which is 9, which means it'd be 1 second left. So it's counting down from 10 to 1, and then it's going to blow up. And this is how you can actually do that calculation. I was always also doing the color as well. So like I was lerping between, so you can set the face color, which if you look over here in the Text Mesh Pro, this is the face color. And if you use lerp, you can actually use it the same way as you do with anything else, right? So color has a lerp function built into it. This is, so new color 000, this is white, and then this is black. I was experimenting with having it go between the two colors while it was counting up. I decided that it looks better just being the same color for right now. Plus, this video is going to be too long if I go into like the color math of how you could make it look really cool with that. I'll probably eventually upload a better, like a cooler version of that. But yeah, so if we play this, we can actually drop the bomb and there's like a timer that will count down above it. And it actually looks really cool. So now when we press G, we have this bomb. Okay, it's attached to the rotation. So like if we drop the bomb, you can see it counts faster and faster. And like as the number gets lower, it flashes more and more. And then when it hits 0, it blows up. I'm going to make it so you can turn the numbers off in one of the later videos. Okay, so the last thing we need to do for this video is we need to make it detect when we hit the secret room with the bomb, right? So if you go to the spell script, we have this uncollision enter code. And right here, it's saying if the collider that we've hit with the spell is attached to all of our attacks, right? So if the collider hits something called draw X, which was what we named the secret room, then it checks what side of the room it's on and it blows up a hole or whatever, right? It instantiates the door so you can go through it. So we need to copy this entire script into this, right? And we could probably press Control KC to comment this out because we don't want it to be able, you shouldn't be able to hit it. We don't want to delete it yet because we need to make it work first, but after we make it work, then we're going to delete it. So we want to do this at the very beginning. Actually, we need to do this after the explosion happens. So like right here in this area. So we're not looking for whether the bomb has hit the wall. The radius of the explosion needs to hit the wall, right? So we need to do a sphere cast. I think physics.sphere cast? No, overlap sphere. Physics.overlap sphere. And then the position is going to be the transform position because remember this is attached to the bomb, right? And then the radius can be like 15. You might have to play with the radius because it could be, I don't know how big 15 is to be honest. So the radius, so this returns a list of colliders. So we need to make a collider array and we'll call this bomb hit object. Yeah, so this will check everything that we hit. So for each collider B, yeah, that's perfect. In bomb hit objects, we can wrap this if statement in this, and if B dot name contains draw X, then we just need to do the same thing as before. So I think this should work. 15 might be too small or too large. I'm not too sure. I don't remember how big 15 is. So the floor is 100 in size. So 15 is like probably like that. That's probably fine. Let's see if we can do it and then we'll go from there. Okay, so it spawned at 2 and 2. So there it is. Okay, so we'll just, oh, what? Where did the wall go? Why did this happen? Okay, so the collision shouldn't be able to happen until after he's let go of the bomb. Like you should be able to walk right up to the wall and it shouldn't actually happen until you actually throw the bomb. So I need to make, yeah, this is what was happening before. So if it's not that and the player.state is not equal to holding bomb, because if he's holding it, we don't want it to blow up on him, right? I think that's what I called it, holding bomb. Is that right? Yeah, player state holding bomb, right? Okay, so if we, let's just start this over because looks like we destroyed the wall somehow too. Not sure how that happened. Okay, so -2 and 0. Oh, there it is, okay. Okay, so that worked, but I'm gonna walk into the wall and see if I can disappear the wall again. I don't know why it disappeared. Okay, so I'm walking into the wall, it doesn't do anything. I throw it. The wall disappeared again though. Okay, so the thing that we're hitting is getting destroyed, I think. Let me just read this. So we're instantiating a bomb explosion, which we're destroying. So that won't destroy the wall. We're doing an overlap sphere, which can hit multiple things, by the way. Like this could be a lot of different things. This will only happen if the name contains draw X. So wall 4 doesn't contain draw X. Game object, destroy game object. This is the bomb that we're destroying and we're removing this. What does the top wall code say? Destroy collision game object. Oh, okay, duh. Okay, so in this for each loop, we're destroying the collision game object, which is this. That's why it's doing that, because the first thing it's hitting is the wall. It's not hitting the X first. We just want to destroy the B. So like the actual thing that we're hitting, which is the X, right? Okay, wait, so -2. So we have shift go down. Okay, we walk up to it. What just happened? So the center, somehow it defaulted to that. So if the collider transform position... Oh, because we're not using B. Again, we're using the word collider, and we've made that up here. So this needs to be B, that's why. So if we just change that, whatever, let's just do it this way. So change all of these to B. Now let me just read the method for a second and make sure I'm not calling this. So this is also collision collider transform position, but this should be B position. And then this is also game object destroy, secret room explosion. We want this to be at where we hit the X. Okay, did we fix everything? If I changed that, I didn't notice the rest. Okay, let's just try this again. It should work now. Okay, and so 3 and 1. So 1, 2. Yeah, right there. Okay. So if we throw this at the wall, it blows up. The thing actually spawns in the right spot. We're just going to try one more time for good measure because we had a bunch of failures in a row. So I got to get rid of this extra bomb that's just sitting there. I was using that to actually like make the bomb or whatever. We started here 1, 2, 3, and then 1. So it's upwards. Okay, so there it is. Yeah. So pretty soon we're going to add health to the game, and then we're going to have to revisit this script and add like damaging the player and stuff like that. I think this looks pretty cool. We also don't have a number of bombs yet. We're not going to worry about that in this video just because like this has already gone on way too long. Okay, so we need to make it so that when he throws the bomb, the counter gets deleted. So if he presses the attack button, which is here, we stop the coroutine, which is like the ticking, but we also want to get rid of that thing or whatever, right? So if we go.find, it's called timer. So go.find timer, and then we're going to call game object destroy. So we just want to destroy the timer when we throw the bomb. We don't actually want to, because the timer is not relevant. If you're throwing the bomb, it won't blow up in midair. You could make it throw up in midair if you want to. But we're stopping the coroutine right when it's thrown. So we would have to stop the coroutine when the explosion happened. That's going to be, because it's in a separate script, we're going to have to call this script from that script. We're not going to bother with that right now. This is already like a super long video, so I'm not going to bother with that. You can set that up if you know how to. But anyway, so now if we throw it, go.transform.find timer. Oh, we're setting this to a variable. Maybe this should be player.bombs.last.value.transform.find timer, and then we can destroy that immediately. Oh, when you find something, it's finding the transform. So you need to type .gameObject at the end to actually destroy it. It should give you like, it should underline it in red if that's not an option. Okay, so now we can set bombs on the ground. We can destroy the timer. When we throw it, it just changes back. This looks incredible. Oh, I blew up the other bomb. All right, guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot to me. In the next video, we're going to be making hearts. So we're going to be incorporating probably the bomb with the heart. So like when you walk into an explosion, you should take damage. If you accidentally throw the bomb on yourself, you should take damage. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Hopefully I will see you guys in the next one.